No more questions tonight, because I don't have my calculator with you, but calculator.
All right, we'll call the October 7th meeting of Washington City Council. Order. Please rise for the silence followed by pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilmember Alexander. Here. Councilmember Brad. Here. Councilmember Brinker. Councilmember Conklin.
Here.
Councilmember Missouri. Here. Councilmember Stevenson.
Here.
Mayor Long.
Yes. Approval of the minutes from the September 23rd meeting.
Move approval.
I second.
Motion floor and a second. Any questions or comments on the motion? Call for the vote.
Councilmember Alexander.
Yes.
Councilmember Brannan.
Yes.
Councilmember Brinker. Oh, sorry. Councilmember Conklin.
Here.
Councilmember Missouri.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yeah.
Mayor Long.
Yes. Here.
Or yes.
Public comments and requests. Any comments from the city taxpayers? Okay. 4B, use of Zindel Park, October 12th.
Rally for Recovery is witnessing the use of Zindel Park on October 12th for their 5K, 10K race. The race will begin and end at the Dirty Dabbers property and follow the attached route. They did use the park last year, but a smaller portion. It was primarily on Dirty Dabbers. So this year it is a newer route that uses a little bit more of the park. And I'll work with them for all their paperwork and send that to the city authority as well. If approved.
Do I have a motion?
I move approval. I second it.
Motion on the floor and a second. Questions or comments about the motion?
Is there anybody here from that? No? Okay.
Okay, call for vote.
Councilmember Alexander.
Yes.
Councilmember Brandon.
Yes.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Missouri.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. 4C, downtown Lock Haven, Haven Holidays, decorations and usefulness.
Downtown Lock Haven is making the following request to council for their 2024 Haven holidays. They would like to decorate the light poles, Triangle and Canal Park beginning November 4th through January 2025. They would like to use Triangle Park for the tree lighting ceremony on Sunday, November 24th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. They're requesting the closure of East Main Street from Henderson to First for the annual Haven Holidays Parade on November 30th from 5:30 to 7:30. And they would like to use Sarah's Alley for live reindeer from 7 to 9 on November 30th.
Okay, let's see.
I move approval. Is this I just have a question on the first notice, because this is on Apple, are we voting on this today? Or is it just a notice because of the road closures and we'll vote on it next meeting?
You're voting to have it put onto the next
Okay.
agenda for consideration so that the
Okay.
public has a 2-week notice.
Perfect. I just want to make sure I understood what was.
I'll second. Motion floor and a second. Any other questions? Call for the vote.
Councilmember Alexander.
Yep.
Councilmember Brandon.
Yes.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Missouri.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. 4D, use of Zindel Park for the watershed for 2025 Border Beast.
The PA Trail Dogs are requesting a portion of Zindel Park for the race on September 20th, 2025. I will work with organizers to make sure their route remains unchanged and special activities agreement is signed. I believe it was 3 years, so I think next year would be up. And I'll notify city authority of their request. And make sure all rules and regulations are followed should this be approved.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion. For approval. Second.
Motion on the floor and a second. Questions or comments on the motion? Call for the vote.
Councilmember Alexander.
Yep.
Councilmember Brandon.
Yes.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Missouri,
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson,
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. 4E, use of Grove Street, from the old corner.
Sean Dale is requesting to close Grove Street from Willard's Alley to East Church Street for outdoor dining and live music every weekend from Memorial Day to Labor Day in 2025. The closures will take place Friday at 3 p.m. until 1 a.m. Sunday. And Sean is here. If you have questions.
I mean, this is the second year we did it this year. We had a phenomenal turnout. We brought thousands of people down to downtown Lock Haven this summer and we had a great year. We're looking to do that again for next year and make things a little better and bigger. As far as entertainment wise goes, getting some bigger names from out in the area and also keep our local bands on the stage as well.
Again, with this, you're voting to place it onto the next agenda, so the public has 2 weeks.
Do I have a motion?
So move it.
I'll second.
Motion floor and a second. Further questions or comments?
Can we ask for the next meeting that we get any kind of police reports? Were there any issues? Were there any problems? Can we ask the chief to provide us with any feedback for the next meeting?
Sure.
So that we have that in the event that there's.
To my knowledge, I did not have LHPD down there. Other than their normal routine one.
Right.
I made the motion because Mr. Dale was very easy to work with when we asked him about the Jams Festival, not to have conflicting. Also with our summer concert series, he was very amenable to switch bands around and not have too much or any overlap, and very responsible to. Every time I go by the day after, it was cleaned up, and I was worried about trash and garbage and the street use, but he seemed to be a good caretaker of that half block. So I support him having him again. Plus, it brought a lot of people downtown, not only to his place, but a lot of the other establishments in that 3-4 block area. That it's all good for downtown.
I would love to see some of my other business owners that, my friends take advantage of people coming to downtown, maybe stay open a little later, maybe offer a special or something if you're another restaurant or venue, I've said it many times and I'll keep saying it. I cannot feed everyone at the old corner that comes in, I'm a big fan of riding someone's coattails when it provides a service to my business as well. So if I had something that I could bring people into my business, restaurant or whatever, I would love to see other people take advantage and bring them in and take advantage of the people in.
And Sean, we had issues last year with neighbors and things like that. No problems this year that you're aware of.
I haven't heard of any, the neighbors that I did have issues with or whatever, I still see them come down and enjoy the concerts and eat the food at the old corner, so. It's one of them things where I throw up in the air, okay, maybe you're having a bad day and you're mad that night, I don't know, but I still see them same patrons coming in throughout the year as well, so. They must not be too upset, where they, so.
Good.
But I haven't had any issues as far as complaints to me directly.
True.
Okay. Anything else? Yes.
Sorry, this is the third time. Can you go through, so you're voting to put it on the next agenda?
Right. This is to make sure it gets out in the public that this is gonna be decided on the next meeting, so.
So this is not, these votes.
This is not the permission, this is to move it forward to the next step, which would be the next meeting.
Okay.
That's where we would grant the permission.
And that applies to all of the.
And the street closure things, that's what we agreed upon, correct, Casey? And the street closure
Street
requests.
closures, yes, they require 2 meetings.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Call for the vote.
Councilmember Alexander.
Yes.
Councilmember Brandon.
Yes.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Missouri.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Staying. Any other use requests or
I none, Your Honor.
Unfinished business, 5A 2024 CDBG update. Carter.
The final public hearing for the 2024 Community Development Block Grant Program took place prior to tonight's city council meeting. During the public hearing, we announced the projects proposed for this year's CDBG allocation of $307,115. Using this allocation, the city of Lock Haven is considering the following activities for funding in their 2024 CDBG application: Spring Street and Stone Alley paving at $150,000, Hannah Park improvements at $120,000, and administration costs of $37,115. Any questions or comments can be sent in writing to csimcox@lockhavenpa.gov by 4 p.m. on October 17th, 2024. This date is the end of the 10-day public comment period. The next steps in the process will be City Council's final approval of the application, set to occur at the regularly scheduled meeting on October 21st. The submission of the application to DCED is due before Friday, November 1st.
Any questions? Thank you for the update. 5B, distribution of the 2024 pension contribution.
My apologies for not being here at the last meeting, and you did receive notice that the city received $381,593,000.86, which is derived from the state's 2% tax on out-of-state insurance companies, and those are distributed to municipalities to help cover pension costs by the Auditor General. And each year, the city calculates the minimum municipal obligation, which is reviewed by the pensions actuary. That's a total amount that has to be contributed by both employees and the municipality combined. So that was budgeted for this year. And after the allocation, the budget had hoped that the city would owe $39,891. Fortunately, that came in that the city only has to pay $11,267. Of that, $3,648 is for the police pension fund, and $7,619 is for the city employees retirement fund, which covers both AFSCME employees and non-union employees, as well as the firefighters. So it is nice that it did come into it.
Any questions? Okay, I see Clinton County Tax Collection Committee subcontractor update.
I did provide council with the document as well as the press with some additional information about the Clinton County Tax Collection Committee and discussions that are going on there now. Currently, the Clinton County Tax Collection Committee collects all the earned income tax in the jurisdictional area, which is the entire county plus I think 2 municipalities in Center County and 1 in Potter. And the TCC has been looking at options for collection agencies to collect that earned income tax, which has led to a broader amount of discussion. Currently, that subcontractor is Keystone Central School District's real estate tax office. Some other options have been reviewed, and right now we're working through some issues with the weighted vote, which is attached in council's packet, and is also available from the Tax Collection Committee. And further information, if you have any, please feel free to ask, and I can reach out to the TCC and get more information for you.
Am I okay to ask questions now, Joel?
Just go ahead.
Okay, I actually had somebody contact me about this and I had it on my list to ask questions.
Okay.
So they were under the impression that you were not the delegate, that you were like the third alternate or something. So I was like, that seems weird. So you're the delegate for the TCC.
Right, we
From the-
updated the
okay.
delegates after Wendy Spiker was the delegate.
Okay.
After she
left, you updated too, okay. And then there was a lot I did not understand because I don't follow the TCC. when they were talking to me.
You will not be shocked, but most people do not.
Yeah, shockingly, like that's not how I want to spend my weeknights. They mentioned that there's an option for the TCC to come up with where everyone just has one vote instead of a weighted vote, or were you guys gonna weight it different? Like, do you know more about what you guys are talking through in that process?
Yes, so, under the state law, the tax collection committee is set up on this weighted vote system that's attached and available from the Keystone Central Tax Office. And under the law, that continues to be the distribution of delegates unless stated otherwise in the bylaws.
Okay.
And so the law does provide that your local tax collection committee can change the way that it distributes the weighted vote. What's important is that you would need
You would need
The
the
school
majority to
district.
pass those bylaws, yeah.
which has 58% of the vote in a single person. And they vote, that's worth 58 out of 100. So you would need that person to agree to any changes in the bylaws. So we have been working in tandem with the school district's representative and trying to find some kind of solution that if every municipality, let's say, were to join together, could potentially outvote, let's say, the tax collection, or the school district. But there's a lot of options obviously available to do that, and with 28 municipalities, there are 28.
Obviously. Then my last question is, they're collecting $550,000 in commission fees as the subcontractor. If the TCC decides to not use the school district's tax office, does that do anything to like local jobs? Are those people that are employed with that $550,000 going to be employed somewhere else in the school district, or are they just?
That would be up to the school district. It is easy to intertwine them.
Yeah.
The school district itself is a subcontractor, just like the city uses Berkheimer to collect its taxes.
Yeah.
So if the city decided to pull its collection from Berkheimer, I'm sure that would have some kind of economic impact on Berkheimer.
Yeah.
But that's up to Berkheimer because they're
To figure
the
that
subcontractor.
out, okay. I just wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you look at the total amount that people pay in the city, when people pay their earned income tax, they would have the assumption, and rightfully so, that that would be used to pave potholes, pave streets, fix your stormwater, things like that. A lot of people don't really tally into that there's a cost to collection. And so when the city used to collect real estate taxes in-house, it cost about $137,000. With Berkheimer, it costs $5,000 a year. So the difference is what the city gets to retain and actually use for what people paid it for.
Yeah.
With the school district, they are charging the municipalities 5% of the tax that's collected. And retaining that as their fee. They're charging themselves only 2.5%, half what they charge the municipality. So for someplace like the city, the difference of going with another contractor is an additional $30,000 into the city's coffers to spend on what people actually pay the taxes for. And that's true for all 28 of the municipalities, and the district itself would be able to retain another almost $100,000. Certainly, they could use that $100,000 to do greater employment than they currently do. But it's my understanding from the district when they show up to the meetings, that those individuals would be reassigned to other departments. But again, they are
That's
the
their decision, yeah,
subcontractor,
that's
yes.
awesome. Cause yeah, $30,000 would take care of probably an alleyway that someone has been coming to council meetings to request help from. It's a lot of money.
It's a process. It's the most attention the tax collection committee has gotten since 2018 when it was, or what, 2010 when it was established under state law. So it's an exciting time to be on the
Yeah, I bet, I bet.
Any
Well,
other
thank you.
questions?
Anything that we can do to encourage them to go this other way? I mean, I'd like to see 20 extra grand, and it just seems overall for everybody, the whole system. I think the letter of support needed. Is there, well, you as a representative, relay our,
Correct.
okay.
Like, I act in what's the city's best interest, and to me, the city's best interest is an extra $30,000. And you know, to other municipalities, and we are the second largest vote. So when I vote, it's worth 9 votes. Woodward, when they vote, it's worth 3. There's some municipalities that unfortunately aren't even like a full 1 vote. Which is, you know, part of the issue with the weighted vote system. But we have to work through the weighted vote first to
And
get
then,
to the
yeah.
next discussion. Yeah.
Should be one less municipality soon.
Well, that one doesn't collect their income tax. So noise will, if it does combine, noise will see their vote tally get higher.
Right.
If they don't change the system, do we have an option to opt out?
No.
is the.
So this is a
TCC
monopoly here.
Yes.
Any other questions on that? All right, do we have any other unfinished business?
I have none, Your Honor.
Okay, on to new business. 6A, notice of 2025 estimated liquid fuels distribution.
The estimate, and it is, I stress, an estimate for the allocation of liquid fuels next year is $222,742. And the city also receives $5,400 for having agreed to turn back of like Woods Avenue and a couple other streets. And so that'll be added to the 232,000 that is in liquid fuels now. We're looking at right now assessing doing Woodland in Sunset Pines with the money that there is from these 2 years. If we can get it for that project.
Any questions on that? Okay, 6B, acceptance of resignation.
I have been honored to be appointed to the Central Clinton County Water Filtration Authority since January of 2018. And my current term will not expire until 2028. Right now, because of the bulk of discussion that's taking place about the combination of the municipal water system in Lock Haven with the Central Clinton County Water Filtration Authority and Suburban Water Authority. A lot of that discussion is taking place at the Water Filtration Authority board, on which no member of council currently sits. While I certainly represent council, it's a little different because it started with committees from council, from the Filtration Authority, and from Suburban meeting together, and kind of shifted into just the Filtration Authority holding those discussions monthly. So that kind of has excluded council members from being active participants in voting on next steps forward. And so I am offering my resignation from that board and would request that council fill that with a council member themselves. Particularly, I know that Tammy Brandon, Richard Conklin, and Barb Mazzorti have all been on the subcommittee that's been active in those negotiations so far. And I think they would be valuable members for council to have as voting members on the Filtration Authority.
Councilmember Conklin is already the liaison. Do we need a liaison and a voting member, or could we just nominate Councilmember Conklin to be our member?
Well, traditionally, all authorities have the mayor as their liaison by default of the office. In this case, there was only a liaison because you didn't have a voting member during these discussions. Prior to Councilmember Conklin being appointed the liaison to the Filtration Authority, there was no liaison to the Filtration.
So Joel can continue to be the liaison and,
Correct.
and we could well, I'd like to nominate Councilmember
Why don't
Conklin.
we do it in order first?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I need a motion to accept the resignation.
Okay. Well, I make a motion to accept Greg's resignation.
I will second that.
Motion Flora, second, any further discussion? Thank you for your service on the board.
I still will provide city updates to the board because those are required.
You can still go to the meetings.
I'll at least provide updates. I'll attend all joint meetings.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor and a second. Call for the vote.
Councilmember Alexander.
Yes.
Councilmember Brandon.
Yeah.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Missouri.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. Now, the next item on the agenda was about appointing members of council. Or have you had any suggestions?
Yeah, I'm suggesting we nominate Rick Conklin.
Motion for a second, do you accept the nomination?
I will, since I'm going anyway.
Right? There it is.
And they did ask, actually, they asked me if I would serve the positions.
It did, but it wasn't appropriate since we hadn't accepted his.
Right, exactly.
Resignation. Okay, well, do we have a motion to close nomination?
So moved.
So you're it. You're all nominated. Okay, so D, acceptance of resignation of Wilson Ricardo from the Ross Library Board.
This
Do we
does,
need
I think
to
you skip
see-
C. Oh,
Oh, excuse me, that has to do with the rec board.
Oh.
I was thinking it had to do with what we just dealt with. Thank you for catching that. Okay, appointment of 2 council members to serve as liaisons to the county rec board for organized trail development.
We're looking for 2 members of council to serve as liaisons for the Clinton County Rec Authority Board in discussions for a trail system in Zindel Park. So this would be a meeting with the authority and then the liaisons that are decided on tonight. And then for the rec board to talk to.
Councilmember Brinker was willing to serve with one of the positions. He had let us know that prior to he had to leave early this evening.
Anyone else?
Barbara, are you willing to serve on that since you've been on those trails?
Yes,
more than
I'll do it.
Any of us have?
I'll be the other person.
Steve and I have been at the end of those trails. That's where we like to be.
Probably,
Yes.
I'd be at the bottom.
Well, that's what we are.
We don't go up very high.
Okay, so we have Councilmember Breaker and Councilmember Resorti.
I'll move those 2.
Pardon me,
I'll move the 2 council members.
motion on the floor.
Second.
And a second, any further discussion? Call for the vote.
Councilmember Alexander.
Yes.
Councilmember Brandon.
Yes.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Missouri.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes.
Just for the record, Barbara, I will let you slowly walk me up some of those trails.
Okay.
Okay, 6D, acceptance of the resignation of Wilson Ricardo from the library board.
this does require council action. We received a letter on Friday from Wilson Ricardo, who has served the Ross Library Board as a city representative. And he has tendered his resignation to be effective no later than December 31st, 2024.
Do you have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept his resignation.
Second, thank you for serving.
Motion floor, a second. Any other questions, comments?
Well,
Yes, sir.
What does that mean? No later than,
He'll finish his term out.
okay,
Yeah, it reads that he intends to finish the term.
okay.
And then we will do boards, commissions and authorities at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, that's fine. I did, just the no later seems ambiguous. we found somebody sooner.
Well, if you wanted to throw them off. then-
No. My next comment is that I felt President, I would like to thank him for his time, but I was thrown by the no later comment.
Maybe you thought we might be responsible maybe before the end of the
Okay.
year.
Yeah, whatever.
Any other reason why? So I have a motion on the floor and a second. I need a vote.
Oh, sorry. Councilmember Alexander,
Yes.
Councilmember Brandon,
Yes.
Councilmember Conklin,
Regretfully, yes.
Councilmember Missouri,
Also regretfully, yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes,
Mayor Long.
Yes. Any other new business?
I come here.
And we've got all kinds of things down there, the drips on the road schedule.
Council will be back by October 14th to take the tour. For those who are going to the municipal league. We'll miss a couple of the events, but city planner and that departmental staff will be making a good showing on behalf of the city for the other events that are taking place.
I just wanted to say, that downtown Lock Haven and the scarecrows on the poles are really fantastic, and shout out to the crew at downtown Lock Haven and to the Lock Haven University football team, I'll put them up, I guess.
Yeah.
They look great, and so many people have commented about how great they are. And the event on Saturday, Moonlight Market, was so much fun, and seeing people dressed up in costumes and all the fun things going on downtown, it was really nice as well. Well done.
I still have to take a second look when I'm driving north on Vesper Street, because that does not, it looks like a real person sitting there in that corner. Every time I look at it.
Job well done.
Oh, go ahead.
Just a public comment on that. I know that they did an alternative to taking up Triangle Park and the parking lot on Main. And as an observer in the community, it seemed weird that they were a little spread apart, but as an alternative to shutting down the entire road, it worked. It worked very well, I thought. So.
I think it got people walked from
Oh,
one
yeah.
end to the other, and I think that was really nice. I mean, there wasn't a lot of people didn't stay open, but the places that were open were busy.
Yeah, they were.
So it was really nice.
yeah, creative foot traffic.
Yeah. I think it was a nice way to manage it.
Anything else?
I have, unfortunately, I want to bring up, to remember Mike Flanagan and his family. And I could go on and on about what he's done for the community. He sat on our revolving loan fund. He supported us and did a lot of things for this county. He missed.
Yep. Anything else? Do I have a motion to adjourn?